For many of us, spirituality is just the quest to find essence or true meaning and to really just connect with a higher consciousness.
Welcome to the Bring Me to Life podcast.
Connecting with your spirituality is very important in this life. By becoming mindful of all of that, you can realize where you are and if that is leading you to where you want to go.
Listen to the little simple things, because it's those little simple things that are going to shift you vibrationally in such a way that will prepare you to become very intuitively minded and ready to step forward on the next part of your path.
I hope you can feel the love that's inside you, it's inside me, that connects us.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of the Bring Me to Life podcast. I am super excited. Today I have Miss Brandi here from from Be Free Treasures. So, Brandi, I'm super excited to share a little bit more about what you do. Do you mind telling our audience who you are and where you come from?
Hello, I'm from Akron, Ohio, and it's really cold here, but I grew up in a house with a bunch of boys and not a lot of money, so I decided that I was going to make clothes that, I don't know, suited me more, I guess you could say. And I would always have to wear like hand-me-downs or things that didn't fit, or I'd have to borrow clothes, and it was terrible. And I would be so uncomfortable, so very uncomfortable. And so I decided that I would just wear what made me comfortable. And most people thought it was silly, but I didn't care. And I found that it really, really changes your attitude. Like, it makes you, I don't know so much as confident is a good word, although that fits, but it gives you a power that makes you not really care what people say and go about things in a more bold way, I guess.
I love that. So for those who don't know, we're talking about working on our styles this week and just really embracing our own uniqueness with that, because the Bring Me to Life challenge, where we have a new task every week, the task this week is to go through our closets and to just release what no longer serves us. And I have to say that Brandi is somebody who really motivated me to do that, because you do have such a very unique and colorful and just happy, uplifting style that you just welcome others, and it embraces that. I always wanted the ability to either make my own clothes or have somebody who could make clothes for me. And when I started to really look into that, you were somebody who popped up, and it was just amazing how the universe gave me somebody as inspiration to really dress and be more myself, because I come from a really conservative, old school type area where it's just very unexpected to wear anything out of the norm, whatever the norm actually is. Who knows, right? Like t-shirts and jeans up in my neighborhood seems to be the norm.
Right.
And I really just wanted to be able to be colorful and expressive, and you shared that. So outside of just finding a way to take what you had and make it into something amazing, what else motivates your style now as an adult, that you have a variety of different styles that you share? Let's talk about that.
I'm an artist, so for me, I mean, anything that I can make, that I love to make people just go crazy. And my favorite is to have the people that are very judgmental, and you can tell in a moment's glance that they're already making their opinion of you, and you're probably not winning so much. Those are my favorite, because by the time I'm done with them, they love me, and the little old ladies are the best, because I want to do that too, and they're just the greatest. But those kind of people are my favorite, because they're set in their mindset, and they're very I don't know, the world needs to change, we'll just say. And those people, I feel like I catch them off a little bit. And I do this all the time everywhere I go. But I love it. The more colorful, the better. And I have a way of attracting people, I guess you could say. I'm one of those that where everybody comes up and talks to them no matter what, tells them their whole life. And when you add the boldness of how I am, it can teach a lot of people a lot about themselves and about the way that they should carry themselves and think about others. I don't know. I just spread my love.
I love that. And I think what you're talking about is really important because, like you said, so many people judge a book by its cover, and they expect somebody who dresses out of the ordinary, whatever ordinary is, to be some sort of way. They have this misconception.
Right.
And what I've found from being able to dress my true self and just being myself, the more I'm myself, the more other people do kind of admire that in a way. It inspires them. Yeah, it's
Yes.
what I'm finding is it's kind of like people are afraid to be themselves. They're afraid to wear something that they think someone may judge them in. Right. But the more that you do it and I do it and everyone that's listening does it, it opens up this door for others to be their most unique selves.
Right. It gives them that opportunity of, oh, well, if they can do it, then I could probably do it too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And even like I said, the older women, they're the funniest because there's one in particular that I had seen once and she just loved my hair and I was freshly colored and everything. And the next time I seen her, because she was in a regular store in the neighborhood, it was bright red. I was laughing so hard. She said, I just love you.
Aw.
But yeah.
So what inspired her?
It's really funny though, too, because they think that you're a certain, like, not very smart or educated, or that you're just not of a class A type of person. And I graduated 4.0 from college and I was a national park ranger, so I mean I know my stuff. And those are the best people to just show them that just because they think that tattoos and bright colors are bad, that you could learn a lot from people like that.
I think the more that people embrace their style, the more common it'll be for others to be their unique self. But I completely agree. When I first dyed my hair, the first time I dyed it purple and then I dyed it blue. And both times I had already just taken over my business at Mountain Shine, and I had to go to these business meetings at like banks and like lawyers and all these things. And they're looking at me like this young girl with blue hair that doesn't know anything about anything. And then they talk to me for 10 minutes and it changes their world. And I too have seen a lot of different people that I didn't expect, like changing their hair color and just really going for it. And I love that you were a park ranger. And like you said, you graduated 4.0. You have all this going for you. But just because you decide to wear a different jacket, it takes somebody having to get to know you. And I think that that's actually sometimes a good thing, because then it forces somebody to get out of their comfort zone.
And it does. It does. The looks that you get, and I jump all over it. I just jump right on in, compliment them somehow, and just start a chit-chatting, and they warm up to it. And it you can see it across their face that everything changes.
It's true. I mean, I even just had a gentleman the other day. He came into the shop and his wife was all excited to look at the art, but he was very well put together. He was an older man, and he decided he was going to talk to me after I was really nice to him. At first he came in, was like, oh, this girl. But then he broke down his barriers, and we talked about how he was once in the military and this, that, and the other. And he told me his whole life story. And by the end of it, his bold kind of secretive look, his shield was put down, and we were smiling and we were laughing, and he was like, you're a nice young lady. And I'm like, well, thank you. Like,
that makes you feel so just swollen with happy. I don't know how to explain it, but I love that.
I agree, and I hope the next time he sees some young girl with brightly colored hair, he's not afraid, or he doesn't have his shield up, like he doesn't think I'm some hooligan causing trouble. So
that's the goal.
So that's kind of the goal with this week too, is as people are going through their closets, I want them to release those clothes that they've maybe gotten just because they felt like they had to have this, that, or the other for a business meeting, or maybe they still have a dress just to wear out. The other thing I love about your style is you wear what you want whatever day. It doesn't matter if there's some sort of special event happening or if the kids have a play or this, that, or the other. Like, you were in it and you were like there to win it and just loving it.
Yes, absolutely. Every single day. And if you don't, then you're not being true to you, because the world's just going to have to take me as I am. I don't know what else to say. I'm just as crazy and colorful every day as I I hope I'm always this way. I will be 90 years old wearing rainbows and I don't know. Hopefully.
Man, I hope so too, and I love it. So maybe what advice do you have for others that are looking to embrace their unique style? What can somebody do maybe to just jump into that?
I would suggest to ponder a moment on what it feels like to have shoes that are too small or too big, and to have on a skirt that's too short, or just to feel so uncomfortable. And then imagine wearing whatever makes you happy, and everybody looks at you, and just the way you carry yourself is happy and free. And imagine, try to compare what you would feel like in each situation. And I think that you might choose the latter, because why be all stuffy and uncomfortable and just not happy with the world when you could just be free and be free?
Be free. I love that.
Teach everybody else to be free, because they want to learn. They want to know how to do it too. They really do.
They do.
The old ones.
I think the older ones are the ones who really are kind of starting to show people, because they take that time and they're just like, who cares? Like at this point, they've lived their whole lives at this point trying to be this specific mold for everybody else. And they're just like, it's time to be comfortable. So it is nice when you see the older generation just like letting go and being their true selves. Now, speaking of Be Free, you run Be Free Treasures, and I've actually been blessed enough that I have one of your jackets on now. CeeLo has one of your jackets. Our other partner, Ashton, he has one of your jackets, and we all get so many compliments on all of our jackets. I will put some pictures up if I can find them through the podcast so people can see. What inspires you to create for others? So we know you create clothes for yourself, and that's part of your look, but what inspired you to create it for others? You've got this whole new line out that you can totally tell us about too.
Okay, well, the new line is the Be Love and the I Love, and actually on this that I made last night is part of the Be Love. It's just a bumblebee patch and a heart. And then the I Love is an eyeball and a heart, and just means, carry yourself in love and I am love all the time, no matter what. And I like to create things for others, because I don't know, it seems that everything that I make finds its specific owner one way or another. Everything that has been bought, at least that I have seen personally, has been like, oh my God, I've wanted one of those, or that's perfect. And that is the coolest thing, because it's like a personality part of me. There's so much that goes into each thing that I make. I'm a very passionate person. So if I'm happy, I'm extremely happy. If I'm not, I'm extremely not. So, and either way, I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm cool with all of it. So there's a lot of energy that goes into what I create every time. And to see people actually, be free with themselves and to feel comfortable in the clothes that I make, because they're different. But it feels good that I'm helping them to come out of their shell and be more bold, and knowing what I put into it. It's kind of like part of me travels the world. So I don't know. I like that.
I love that too. I know that it definitely inspires other people. CeeLo had his jacket on at one of the last festivals we went to, and there was a young man, he literally dashed across the field, and had to catch up with CeeLo, ran across the field just to ask him, like, did you make that? Who made that? Like, where do I get something like that? And he was just so in love with it. And CeeLo made sure that he went back to the van and got one of your cards, because he just wanted to make sure that this guy knew where to get this unique piece of clothing for him to rock. So I know that you go to festivals and things like that. Where else can people find you online if they're interested in checking out your line of clothing?
I do have a shop on Etsy, which has everything that I have listed, which is about 100, give or take, items. I'm being pushed by my adopted son to create men's lines, so he has recently went hunting for clothing, and so that will be coming soon. But that's on Etsy, Be Free Treasures. And then if you want to hear my rambles and see my other art, and then the featured sections, I think 25 items on my new website. It's BeFreeTreasures.com. And there's all kinds of stuff all about me and my craziness and how it came to be and what I like to do. So check it out if you want.
I love that. I will make sure to put some links in the video description so people can find you as well. And also on the post this week about cleaning out our closets and releasing clothes that no longer serve us, you mentioned donating clothes to others so that they don't end up in a landfill. Do you have any suggestions for people? I know a lot of people give to Goodwill, but there's, I'm sure, other options or places maybe that you look.
There's like women's victims units. I know that they've got those in every major city. Any soup kitchen or church would be a good place. There's always a ton of people that are in need. You could even call your local schools, because a lot of times schools will take children's clothes for if accidents happen or whatnot, or coats. But there's so many different ways to reuse the things that you have instead of throwing them away, because they sit on mounds and mounds in the landfills, and the dyes that are in the clothes, it is not good for the environment. The gases that, I'm not very sciencey with that kind of stuff, but it affects it extremely. And there's so many things now, especially online, that will teach you how to use the things that you're about to throw out, instead of throwing out, every season, whichever things change, it starts to add up. And I think right now this earth extremely needs our help. So get online and find some ways to work it so you don't have to throw it away.
I agree. I know I was at one point, I was making pillows and blankets and like bags and anything I could do to just like save the clothes from going to a landfill. I'm always trying to find a little friend or someone that's like got the same style as me that needs something fresh, even if it's not completely new. It's new to them, and that's always exciting. I mean, today I cleaned out my closet and I found clothes that were new to me that I don't know if I've even worn once. And it's like, man, when you clean out your closet, right? You clean out your closet, you just find all these amazing things, and some of them they just don't fit.
Right. You could, even as families, you could, group together and switch clothes around and cycle clothes through, local friends that you have. A lot of times that becomes very useful too.
It's true. It's true. If somebody's interested in making clothing and has no idea where to start, is there any sort of tips or places people could look, or any suggestions you might have for someone interested in making their own clothes?
Sure. Well, you can check out my blog, because there might be something there. Or Pinterest is a great place online to teach you how to do different things with your clothing. But with the internet, you can find anything, or YouTube, and just not even leave your house and have it all right there.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Maybe you could describe one of your favorite pieces that you've made. Is there anything that you have that sticks out in your head that just really explains your style?
The very first sweater that I made, there are your guys' sweaters, because those sweaters, oh my, CeeLo sweater, it drove me nuts. That thing is an ornery sweater. But
he loves it. He wears it all the time.
It fits him, I think. But it was fun, and I learned a lot. But the very first sweater would probably be my favorite. It's as soon as you go to my webpage, you will see a picture of it. But I created that one by hand. It was before I had a sewing machine, and it's super colorful. But when I sold it, I didn't really want to sell it, so I would hike it up really expensive at the shows just to have it there. But I didn't want nobody to buy it. So this old woman came in, had to have been 65, 70 years old, and it was 90 degrees outside, and she just loved this sweater, and she put it on and she danced around, and I would have passed out if I was her. But just the look on her face, and she said she was going to sport it to the grocery store and make all the girls jealous. And I mean, it was just the coolest thing. I think that has to stick out as probably my favorite. It was my favorite sweater, but I let it go for way less than I should have. But I loved it. It was best.
It's living on in her, and she, I'm sure, loves it as well. So that's a beautiful story. I really love that you shared that. Is there anything else that you feel so called to share with our audience today, or anything you would just like to say at all?
If you're nervous, if you're scared, you only live once, and color, I mean, it's scientifically proven to change everything about you and the way that you see the world when you wear certain colors. So put them on. Change your attitude. It's that simple to just put a color on that you want to feel like, and then feel like that. And you'll see your attitude change completely. And then, you'll teach other people to be more them too. Right now, the world needs people that are just ready to be them completely.
Well, you definitely inspire that. You light up the whole uniqueness, and you share the love. You are the love, and I love that about you.
That's my mission: spread the love.
Well, you were doing it, girlfriend. You were doing it. And to all those listening, we hope that both of us have motivated you to just be yourself and wear things that make you happy. Do your hair however you like, and just like be comfortable. Like be free, be comfortable, shine bright. That's what this is all about. And we're just so thankful that you were here and tuning in to Bring Me to Life. And thank you for always tuning in and sharing your knowledge, Brandi. And I love seeing you always in the chat room. If you're listening and you want to check out, Brandi's usually around, not always, but if you see that name, I hope you say hello. And then check out her website. It's beefreetreasures.com, correct?
Yes, BEE.
BEEfreetreasures.com. So, all right. Well, thank you, sweetheart. I hope you have a great day.
You too, honey. Bye, guys.
Bye. Stay awake and shine on always. Thanks for shining on with us.